Hi there. You probably heard a quote that never test the depth of a river by using your boat feet. Well, this is not only applied on investment side, but it also applied when you start a new business. My name is Hendrik. I'm from Blanco Technology Solution. This is our second video of our Startup 101 series, and this is what we call the Marketfit process. If you haven't seen our first video, I will suggest to pause this video right now and take a look on that one first, because without that, you will have incomplete information about specific terms that we will be using on this video. But if you do already, then let's move to the next part. There's an old way how to run your tech startup business. You have your idea and you have your functionalities defined. Then you start build the product, let's say for 4 months or so. Once the product ready, then you start do your marketing effort. But after some times, unfortunately, there's no enough market capture from your promotion. And later down the road, when you start doing your analysis with your team, and probably one of them is by asking your current customer, you'll be surprised that they will say, the idea is good, the product is fine, but there's a specific problem that they are facing right now, and currently no one in the market solving it yet. And they will start explain to you what they actually need from your product, how your product should be. Let me share you our story about this. So while we were doing testing for our Marketfit framework, I remember at the time we are doing testing for a channel manager for online commerce. Let's say someone want to sell a product online, and they will go to specific website and add their product there. They have to add the product name, description, images, prices, and once the product being added in the service, it will automatically distribute your product into Amazon and maybe Lazada or maybe other type of e-commerce that are available on the market. And one of our high expectation customer, his name is Donny. His response was, the idea is quite good, the idea is solid, but there's something that he really needs some help on it when they're trying to selling product online. It turns out that a lot of small business owner don't have a good knowledge about accounting, so they couldn't create an accounting report that can be used for their investor, their annual report, or even they can use it to get a loan from the bank. And from this point, we start to realize that Marketfit process is not only about to know is your idea will be captured by the market or not, but in other side, it will actually give you some insight about what improvement that could be added for your product. So our focus here is try to get your idea out to the market as early as possible. Then from there, markets will start give you a feedback of your product, and they will start give you an improvement or everything you have to do in order to make your product acceptable by the market. In order to start your Marketfit process, first you have to define your minimum criteria of success. We usually use two things here. First one is response rate, means if we got more than 80% positive response, we can assume the idea is valid. And the second one, we can use high expectation customer. So let's say at the end of this meeting, then you can ask, are they willing to join and try out the product once it's available on the market? If their answer is yes, then we count them as high expectation customer. So with high expectation customer, we usually use that as a absolute number. So let's say if we got more than 13 high expectation customer, only that we can assume the product is valid. In early 70, IBM did a market assessment related with how big is the demand for PC at the time. So they hired an external contractor and they did the market assessment. The result is there will be no more than 300 units per year for PC to be sold. So IBM just dropped their interest right away. But after a few years, Apple released their product, Apple II, and it was a massive success in the industry. Then IBM regrouped and tried to analyze why their market assessment failed. It turns out that the people who did the market assessment, they don't have anything to see in front of their eyes. They don't have something to experience or maybe try out of how the PC will look like. And since they got no idea how the PC is, they just say they're not interested at all. And that's why a prototype is super important before you start your Marketfit process. Let's take this on another example. Let's say you are in a shopping mall and in front of you there are two salesmen trying to sell you a condominium. The first salesman starts giving you pictures of the condo and give you explanation about what are the facilities of the condo, what are the prices, and everything you need to know about the condo. The second salesman roughly do the same thing, but at the end of his explanation, he invites you to their show unit. And you say, yeah, that's fine, I'm cool with it. So you and the second salesman go to their show unit. Once you arrive inside their show unit, you start to experience how it feels like when you bought the condo. You go to the bathroom and start washing your hand, washing your face. You go to the bathroom and start lay down on your bed. You go to the living room and start watching TV there. And once all done, you back to your home and you start to think, you are as a customer, which one would you prefer to buy? Which one would you likely to be interested on? The first man who give you the information, the pictures, explanation, the price and everything, or the second salesman who roughly do the same thing, but he give you the experience about how would you feel when you bought the condo. Once you have your prototype ready, it's now time to meet your ideal customer. It will depend if you are targeting your local market, then that would be better if you could meet them face to face and start to explain what is your product about. You can use your prototype to show the features and benefit. If you want to go online, let's say LinkedIn, and you start to filter people out based on your criteria, you might want to schedule a meeting with them. But the most important part, at the end of the meeting, you have to ask them, are they willing to be your high expectation customer or not? Because that's the only matter. Once they decide to be your high expectation customer, that means they are interested with your product. At the end of the whole Marketfit process, you might want to take a look at your minimum criteria of success. Does your response rate exceed what you expect before? Does your high expectation customer number of people also exceed what you expected from your minimum criteria of success? Alright, let's do a recap. So from Marketfit process, you would get three things. First one is your minimum criteria of success. It basically told you that your Marketfit is a fail or is a success. The second one is a prototype. So prototype is not used when you talk to your ideal customer, but later down the road, it will be used when you start your development process. And the third one is the most important one, which is you will get your customer even before you launch the product by asking them, are they willing to be your high expectation customer or not?